So I want us to do something real quick. Public speaking engagement, and I want you guys to greet yourself. 1, 2, go. You don't know him now. You are failed. Go and sit. Read that. You don't know him. It's easier than speaking to multitude. The truth is, most people who are good at interpersonal communication are most likely to be better at public speaking or public communication. If you cannot master, in fact, I tell people that if you cannot master what we call intrapersonal communication, which is communication within self, intrapersonal, INTRA, you cannot master interpersonal communication, which is between you and somebody else. And once you can't master interpersonal, forget about public speaking. It is the reason why we are doing this practice. Now, I need 2 other people, the last 2 people. The 2 people closer to me. Can you come outside and you sing yourself for the very first time? Sorry. You know, there are some of you that every time you face me. Yeah, you're meeting yourself for the first time. You have to face them more. Greet each other. 1, 2, go.
Hi, my name is Kate. Nice meeting you here.
Okay, me too. My name is
Are you a speaker also?
No.
I will still give you 6 over 10. And the reason I will give the 2 of you 6 over 10 is that you were maintaining eye contact. Most of the people that came, you guys were not maintaining eye contact. It's very wrong. The first thing that people want to see in you is how can you look them eyeball to eyeball. If you're communicating and they see that your eyes is fixated on them, they know that you have confidence. Once you start taking your eyes off your audience, you have lost them. Do you get it? Once you start, and the thing is, when you look at your audience, you can actually determine if what you're saying is making sense or not. And you can also know which of the parts that you're saying is making sense or not. Now, let me give you a good example. If I come into this space now and I tell a story, and I can see excitement all over your face, what I should know is that on interval, throughout my public speaking, I must chip in story. If when I say statistics is what triggers you people, I see the enthusiasm of wanting to learn, I should understand that in every 30 minutes of my conversation or 15 minutes of my conversation, I must add something that is statistical, right? Now, if you want to greet someone, now let us practice. Who wants to greet me? You can come. Come now, you did like this. Now, everybody watch. And I want you to get something. If you get what I did, tell me. Are we ready? Good morning, sir. My name is Michael, and I'm here to train the staff of Adborn.
It's nice to meet you.
You failed. Did you not?
Well,
the response should be stay. The response should be, oh, Mr. Michael. Do not say my name is Mr. Michael. You mentioning my name back means you want to create an intentional relationship and communication. Oh, Mr. Michael, my name is. And once he says it, nice meeting you should not just be nice meeting you. The nice meeting you should come with his name. If his name is Shegun, nice meeting you, Mr. Shegun. That way, you can have your seat. That way, you have created not just a relationship, but now let me give you a good example. If somebody sees you for the first time and the second time the person remembers your name, how do you feel?
good.
Let's be realistic. How do you feel? You feel great, right? So when you use the word, I don't want to even say because I use Mr. But once somebody tells you their name and then you repeat that name, it shows some sense of intentionality in that conversation. So for instance, if you want to do public speaking, and then if you notice that you can go on replay, most times I want to try to remember your names. Most times. If you're greeting people, you're greeting them, look their eyeball to eyeball, mention their name. Even in the audience, when somebody, for instance, asks a question, and then you're like, what's your name? And the person says, my name is Shade. After the person answers that question or asks that question, thank you very much for asking that question. So, Mrs. Shade, you've mentioned the person's name. The person feels loved, feel appreciated, feel valued. Please, are we there? When you are intentional about your communication, you get the result out of the communication. When you are intentional about your communication, you get the result out of the communication. Are we there? Are we here? So, research shows that when you tell a story before starting a public speaking engagement, you capture your audience. Again, another research shows that when you use the word research shows that at the beginning, people tend to believe it. You didn't get the comedy. So the first thing I said, you people believe it, even if it is true or untrue. But once I use the word research shows that, people feel like even when the person is saying rubbish. Now, that is where perception is in reality. If you make your audience to believe what you're saying, they will believe it even if it's a lie. But if you don't believe your own lie, do you know that there's a way that psychologically you can tell a lie over time, and very soon that lie becomes a truth to you alone. Like you've said it over time. That if they are not asked you to say that lie, you will say it perfectly the way you have been saying it for the past 5 years. You have mastered it. So whatever thing you want to say, make sure that you believe that thing you're saying. Why does public speaking matters? Imagine you are in a room with two people applying for the same job. One candidate has slightly better qualification, but the other one can confidently communicate their value. Who do you think gets the job? Of course, the person that can communicate is of value. This is not where we are going to. So this is the first thing I want us to deal with before we now go to how to now create a powerful speech. But let's stay here first. Let's stay here first. Overcoming stage fear, which is, I think, is one of the reasons a lot of people do not want to do public speaking. You know, I said it the other time that part one, that in public speaking, everybody is a public speaker. But the truth is, you learn the art in the process of public speaking. I didn't get better at public speaking because I had to watch a video about public speaking. I got better at public speaking because I kept getting engagement of public speaking. So what I'm saying in essence is, if you do not learn how to communicate, you cannot be a master at communication. If you don't keep at it to address people, even on interpersonal level, you cannot grow as a public speaker. And let me tell you something, there is no one rule to public speaking. I'm saying that the power of your delivery is in you, it's not in a method. Again, the power of your delivery is in you, it's not in a method. In fact, the more flexible you are as a public speaker, the better you become. And I can tell you, if you ask me that what is one lesson that I have learned in public speaking, should I tell you what it is? It's vulnerability. I can joke about anything. When I was coming, anything that has happened while I was in secondary school, while I was in tertiary institution, my first degree, second degree, I can use it. I can throw any of my life in public speaking. People connect to people who have that kind of experience. Do we agree? Do we agree? Yeah. People connect to people who have that kind of experience. So if you are in a public speaking and you want to feel like 80% of people actually have one negativity or the other. So preach to the negativity. In fact, you are most likely to be emotional to somebody who speaks negativity than positivity. Do we agree? If I come here now and tell you how I faced bullying while I was small, and I tell you that how my mom would drive me to school and then would drop me at school, would pick me up, which do you think you connect to most? The bullying. Do I agree? In fact, you may start seeing me saying that my mom dropped me at school has been proud. So the question is, the reason you are afraid is that you are afraid to fail. You are forgetting that failure is what even makes people to connect to you. What I just said is deep. You didn't get it. You are afraid to fail, but you are forgetting that failure is what actually connects people to their emotions, not success. Do we agree? Let me shock you. When what's the name of this big brother guy that was very intelligent? Lekon. The only reason, take any other thing, any other reason, maybe because he's intelligent or not. The only reason that guy in first few weeks of Big Brother Nigeria caught our attention was because he was saying stories of and then somebody was undermining his essence with that failure, and then every Nigerian. So I am saying that when you're facing people, if you are concerned about failure, you most likely not fail. Because if you are concerned about success, there's possibility of failing. If you are concerned about failure, you will not even see your failure as failure because you have already projected it. In most cases, you see it as learning. Because you already know that, yes, I'm going to do this thing, I might fail, but it's a learning process. Do I start telling them that I've been teaching for 10 years, and one of them will say that I've been teaching before they gave birth to me? Because really, I can see somebody that is 80, 70, 20, there. So you know what I did? Already I have something, I don't know if I've done it yet. There's a card that I usually have that is more like, what is it called now? Scenario play. We have done it here before now. Who remember? Scenario play. If this person is chewing gum while you are this and that. Do you remember? We did it one time like that. So I had done a scenario play of maybe 6. And the scenario play, I deliberately pitched the teachers against the management in the scenario play. You know the kind of scenario play that a student abused you, and then you beat the student reports to the management, and then the management gave you, what is it called, query. What will you do? So when I now distributed it to all of them, and then I said, oh yeah, start reading, what will you do? What I did, I gave some parts to teachers, some parts to, when they now started fighting, I now step back. They're now asking, sir, what will you do? Hey, that's what I want, that's the position I want. They're now asking, sir, if you are the one, what will you do? When I started hearing, sir, what will you do? And after that, now they want my professional input. Then I came inside. Sometimes you can do that. Try to put those people, your audience, in the position of need, so that what you say will make sense. People listen to people who have their solution. So sometimes create a problem even before you start your public speaking. It is the reason some people will tell you story of their failures, and then they will now tell you that what I'm about to tell you is how I was able to go through the failure and get to success. If you paint a problem, solve it. That is the whole essence of public speaking. Create a problem and solve it. Create a problem and solve it. I've created a problem now, but I also get fear sometimes. But I solve it. How do I solve it? I create a problem and allow the audience to solve it while I'm getting my own confidence back. If I get here and your faces are scaring me, I'll create a problem. I can tell you to do something. I can just give you one work. You start doing. When you do it, finish. I know that you won't answer. And by the virtue of the arrangement of this place, I'm the owner that can give the answer. So everybody will listen to me. That is it. Do we get that? So let's move. Focus on the message, not yourself. Now the problem is that you've forgotten that what you're saying is what people want to hear is message, not you. If your message can convince them enough, they don't care who you are. So the focus should not be on, oh, what if I fail? The focus is, what if I deliver? Or the focus should be, what can I do to deliver? Now, you've changed the focus from where you as a person to your message. I explained last time, so don't let us waste our time, because I know that we only have 1 hour, and they know that 1 hour cannot be enough. Now, creating a powerful speech. Now, there are 4 ways rather. Connect, optimize, deliver, and execute. What is the connect there? Build rapport. NLP mentoring personal state. I've explained NLP here, neuro-linguistic programming, but let me explain again. What is a mirror? When you look at a mirror, what do you see? You see yourself. People want to see themselves in you as a public speaker. So the first thing you need to do is find a way that people will see themselves in you. Ask yourself, what is this kind of audience that I have? What am I training them on? How can I allow them to see themselves in me, what they are going through in me? For instance, I was told to train not really, they do real estate too, but they are more on, what is it called? What do you call it now? People that sells houses, what do you call them again? No. I've forgotten. They help you to check it, what it is worth. I've forgotten the value. Valuers, yes. So I trained some set of valuers, I think early this year. And then when I got there, it was their, their first year meeting. I was asked to train their top valuers. And then I realized that I am not a valuer myself, but I need them to see themselves in me. And what I realized is that most of these valuers, they give them what they have to achieve, like the amount that they have to target. They give them target. So I had to tell a story of how meeting target can cause blah blah blah, because I was teaching them emotional intelligence and then negotiation skills. I had to teach them how that can affect their emotion, how it has affected my emotion before, because I want to meet a target. People want to see themselves in you. That is where mirroring comes in. Try to look at your audience, mirror what you think that is the most prevalent situations, possible situations or positive possible experiences of your audience, and then try to paint your own story of what they are feeling so that they can see themselves in you. Once they see themselves in you, they want to listen to you because you feel what you have felt what they have felt before, right? And then you have seen what they have seen before. Then the next thing is, now look at NLP mirroring personal stories. The best way is to tell personal stories. If you want to connect, tell personal stories. Then the next one is use vocal variety as structured storytelling. And let me tell you something. I used to do something. Go and play my video. I used to fake pause. In fact, the best way to capture your audience is fake pause. Fake pause. You know what pause is? P-A-U-S-E. Do as if you forget something. And you didn't forget. Me, I'm going to open up to you. You know, me, I'm always vulnerable. Okay, you did not forget anything, madam. Calm down. What you want to do is that, you know that once I do as if I forgot something, you know I can actually grab your attention. Because you are waiting for what is that thing that they want to remember. Immediately I get your attention, I got to phone you. Fake pauses, fake donations. Let your voice fluctuate. If you watch my video over again, I've shouted, I've reduced my voice. It's the best way. You know why? In your audience, there are 4 types of people. I have explained to you before. We have auditory, digital, auditory tonal, kinesthetic, and what again do you have? Visuals, right? For auditory tonal, they want to hear themselves, right? For kinesthetic, they want to feel. And for feelers, you don't need to shout. When you are shouting, you are distracting. For visuals, they want to picture. That's why you have to tell stories. So if you don't merge this together, you will lose some part of the audience and you get the part of, and God will not help you. I will not say God will help you. God will not help you. The people that are in the hall will be of varieties of representational system. You know, it is still okay that if all of them most of them are kinesthetic and your voice is low, you can still connect. But imagine that maybe 6 is kinesthetic, 6 is auditory, 6 is visual. You may just connect with only 6 people. It is the reason you watch film. Everybody will be asked to write a review. Somebody will say 6/10. I want to say 6/10. I cannot give that film more than 2/10. We show that is it not the same film that we watch? It's because that film only speaks to your own kind of representational system. Let me give you a good example. Do you know that some people, if they don't cry in movies, if they don't cry after watching a movie, the movie is not interesting. Some people believe that if they cry, regardless of how the storyline is rubbish, maybe they just kill one small child there and then they cry. You're like, the movie is very emotional. Especially women. That kind of person, sorry. We are sorry. It's not especially me, sorry. Now, that emotional part means that you are kinesthetic. You are tilted towards a kinesthetic. Now, for instance, personally, I watch only psychological movies. Movies that will make my brain to turn. That's what I see. And once I see a movie and then I cannot predict the end, I cannot predict everything. The person is just putting in twists. For me, it's 10/10. For some people, if you watch it, it's boring. Which one is this one again? Which one is boring? Because that person is not an auditory digital, right? So when you are communicating, you have to make sure that you appeal to those 4 kinds of representational system. The auditory digital, somebody that loves, what is it called now? Statistics. Kinesthetic, somebody that loves feeling. How do you connect to feeling? Story. Somebody that loves statistics, somebody that you have to tell the person, this. If you make it, you know that it will happen. Sometimes what I use is I use terminologies. If you don't know statistics, use terminologies that they don't know. Use terminologies that they don't know. So am I communicating? Because if you use it as somebody who is auditory, that person wants to get knowledge. So if you use something that is new to the person, you get the person's attention. Do we get that now? In case you don't know statistics, find out what are those things that you can say in that line of thought that can actually make the person to think, so this thing exists. So this thing happens. Please, are we there? Next one is deliver, right? That engage with gesture, tonality, and psychological triggers. When you're communicating, make sure that in between you are adding psychological triggers, something that can make them to psychological triggers, anything that can trigger them, anything that can trigger. In fact, most times I pitch people against. Most times, that's what I do. I pitch people against. When I pitch you against, it's very easy for you to want to listen to me. I pitch you. Now, when I say pitch you against, I don't mean to fight. Sometimes I can say, okay, you and you, everybody do something. Oh, what did you say? What did you say? What did you say? What did you say? When it's like, okay, everybody had different thought process. I bring in my thought process. And then we have many thought process for all of us to think. When we have a lot of things to think, should be our head will be tired when we are done. Be like, that man spoke very well. Power of storytelling. How do you do storytelling? Number one, set up. Introduce a relatable story or challenge. Conflict. Describe the struggle, low point, that's your own struggle. Then lastly, deliver the lesson or breakthrough moments. That is the best way. This is the best way to create storytelling. Don't go and start from the reason. Do you know that last year I made 1 million naira? You have lost them. Do you know that 2 years ago I was ravaging in poverty? So, effective delivery techniques now. Number one, vocal verity. We've said it, monotone, change your pace, change your tone, change your volume to keep engagement. Please, if you master anything, master this. The next one is eye contact. You know, I said it. I said, don't stare at your notes. Connect with individuals in the audience. If you are here and you feel like my eyes have not seen you since I started, signify. Apart from the person behind you. Like since I've been talking, my eyes have not connected to your eyes since I've been talking, signify. Be sincere. That you have not felt that our eyes meet each other since I've been talking, signify. Nobody. Because I have connected with all of you. Yes, I connected with you. When I was asking you a question, you said that she answered me. She did not connect with you. Please, am I communicating? Most times you will see that I'm not fixated on one direction. When you are looking at people, they feel like you are talking to them. And sometimes when the distraction want to communicate, this man will look at me very slowly. This man will look at me very slowly. Connect with people. You are asking me, what if you have 1,000 audience? There's still a way you can connect with people. Forces equals power. I said something the other time. I said if there's one thing that I have learned, it's vulnerability. If another thing that I have mastered again is pauses. Pause. Calm down. You are not rushing. You are not from Russia. Even if you are from Russia, you will still fight with Ukraine. So calm down. The question you should ask yourself is that if I need to catch my audience when I'm communicating, silence is what can make people to feel, to connect back to the room. Okay, hold on. If the whole of this place is silent, what do you think will make everybody to be alert? Is it not sound? The same way, when you are the only one talking and everybody is silent, you to try to be silent and let them look at what is happening. Master pauses, things you don't forget. Pretend like you forgot. Things that you want to say, forget pretend like it is not what you want to say. Like you can say something, oh, that's not what I want to say. Okay, so what I want to say is, this is like, once I just hear gunshots, what happened? Jackpot. Any position you are standing, that you yourself, you are feeling like you are freezed, is not the best position for public speaking. Any position you are standing must be in position of what? Of flight. Flight, not freeze. Your posture in public speaking must be flight, not freeze. Don't be time conscious, be message conscious. It's the message that you want to pass across, not the time. The moment you are time conscious, you will want to rush. Me, I am not time conscious. When they give me 5 minutes more, even if I am in the third slide to the fourth, what I ask myself is, Michael, in that 1 hour you spoke, did you actually communicate value? If yes, I am okay. Engage your audience. Number one, ways to engage your audience. Number one, ask rhetoric question or direct questions to spark curiosity. Rhetoric question. I've asked many questions. Have you been? Have you ever been? If you notice very well, I've been asking questions that I don't demand answer from you. What I just need is you nodding your head. Ask rhetoric question that doesn't even have answer. Or question that they think they have the answer. Ask. 2, use humor. Relatable example. How many of you have smiled, at least, since I started? You smiled. If you have not smiled, not the reason for your problem. But you have smiled. Even this one that I said now, you have smiled again. And that's how it should be. Humor. Relatable examples. And last, get interactive. Have them to raise their hands. How many of you have raised your hand here? You have. Share thoughts. Imagine scenario. I've asked you to imagine scenarios. Everything I've taught here is what I do. Sincerely. Visuals. Sometimes they allow you to use slide in some training. Sometimes they don't allow you to use slide. If not that I'm teaching public speaking, if I was teaching on that topic, everybody in this all know that they would have watched movie by now. Most of my training, you watch 2 movies. So I'll connect to the visual. They know. Ask them. You watch 2 movies. We will off lights. We used to do mini Netflix. Just that it will not come with popcorn. And sometimes, if they don't allow you to use this, try to create something that everybody can imagine. Thank you very much. So, any question?